Hi guys, you're welcome back to the channel. How are you doing today? I hope that you're fine because I am doing absolutely good today. So I'm checking out this video titled Five More Things Poland Does Better Than USA. Okay, we recently watched this video here where he talked about five things Poland does better than USA, where he mentioned internet, food, wedding dress, safety, and public transport. Okay, so today we're checking out this one to see what other things Poland does better than the USA. Let's quickly dive in.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing? I after I filmed my first five things Poland does better than the United States, I finished up and then I realized I had five more. I should have just said top 10. But so anyway, I decided let's do a round two. Here are five more things Poland does better than the United States, in my opinion. And you guys let me know what you think, okay? So, with a piece of history behind me, this is an estate from the 1930s, early 1930s, built here in Maine, that people used to come up here to for, of course, recreation and just to get a break from the city life. It was mainly for their summer holidays, but I think as the years went on, people would come up here also during the winter holidays. But with this historical site right here, I think to myself, while it's lovely, when I was traveling throughout Poland, one thing that amazed me, and maybe it's because Poland is so old, the history of the country is so old and it's varied, is Poland, you do history better than the United States. I mean, now granted, the United States has a shorter history. We've only been around for what? Uh, you know, well, as a formal country since, the 1776. So we are very young, per se. But of course, you can go back and like where I grew up, we have homes from the 1600s. And you can go down to Florida, and there's some parts of Florida that were discovered by the Spanish in the late 1500s. And then, of course, the Native Americans who have been around, substantially longer. But when I think of history, I just think of the fact that, for me, when I was exploring different parts of Poland, I just felt like not only are there a lot of historical sites to see, but Poland has done a good job like labeling them. And so it's very easy to find. A lot of these sites are also in English, so it's very easy to read. And since I'm a World War One buff, World War Two buff, actually anything from the 1700s on, I love the immense amount of history that I can see. So from that perspective, I would just say, Poland, you have a wealth of that, and I appreciate that. So you are better than the United States in that regard.
No doubt, Poland is rich in history. When I say rich in history, very, very rich in history, that they keep record of literally everything, and it helps the younger generation to know more about the country, right? Even foreigners to know more about the country, which I really love and respect about your.
Now, if I had actually shown more foresight, I should have been filming this with a church in the background, but instead we're on a wooded trail going down to my to the beach of my where I live. And anyway, having been back only a few weeks now, I find that as much as I love going into my churches here and exploring them and seeing the designs and the decorations and all that fun stuff, one of my most favorite things to do in Poland, in Krakow, and actually outside of Krakow, was just to go into every Catholic church that I found, and even some non-Catholic churches for that matter. I just loved the variety. I loved how the older the church it seemed, the more I was going to say pomp and circumstance, but there's just so many different things to see, from the paintings, from the murals, from the type of crosses. There's just the beauty inside the churches in Poland I've never seen anywhere else in this world. And I used to live in the southern part of Italy, and I saw some pretty churches there, but I think just by sheer number, Poland wins for churches, for Catholic churches, if you like going into churches. I probably should also say same thing with the cemeteries. I really enjoyed exploring the different cemeteries. Well, maybe that's kind of a tie, because, I'm going to show you guys some cemeteries over the next few months, year, however long I'm here, and I'll show you, and we might find that we have a push for the cemeteries. But churches, I have never found so many beautiful churches as I did in Poland, so point to you guys. Again, just something else that you win in. You'll note that today for our top 5, these are more like cultural things, or I think they're a lot more subjective, right? This is Long Pond right here. This is a part of a very big lake here in Maine. It's very peaceful. The air is just
It's so soothing.
serene, maybe heavenly, actually. And it's funny, I've not been in the lake yet. I'm going to break that. I'm going to go in tomorrow. But where were we? So first, we talked about history. As I said, historically speaking, for me, Poland, you just have a lot more of it. So that automatically is better than the United States in that regard. Number 2, I said, were churches. And then number 3, I'm looking at my list. I got it right here. Number 3. Oh, I put down the variety of sports. Now, granted, here in the States, we have as many sports as Poland does. But what I liked about it was, when I was living in country, is I really appreciated the fact that on the news, how do I phrase this? I really appreciated that the pride that citizens took in any sport. It was like, if Poland had a volleyball match, it would be on TV and people would be watching it. If it was the EuroLeague for basketball, you were watching it. If it was equestrian events, if it was a skiing event, there were some like sports I never even heard of that I turned on the television on a Sunday afternoon and it was on. And as long as there was a Polish person who was participating in it, fans were rabid, they were patriotic, they were cheering on their folks. And now, granted, we do cheer on our people here too, but I feel like we're more obsessed with like the National Football League, the NBA, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, more of these major sports. And I felt like in Poland, there was more love shared to all sports. And for that, I will just say that Poland does a better job, because I think, there's more love shared. So it might seem a little bit weird, but that's my take.
Yes, in addition to this, Poles are really intentional about themselves. They support themselves in whatever. Right? Yes, they support themselves. And that is why it feels easy to be noticed that they are general. They are everywhere in every sport, volleyball, football, and so on. They are really general. The love is equal, right? That's because they love themselves. They are so intentional about themselves that they support themselves to grow, which is really beautiful. And you cannot really find it everywhere. Let's get back to it.
As I walk through this forest here, I was going to say that Poland does grass better in their forest. As I look right here, and I have like ferns, which are fine, but we have a little bit of grass, but nothing compared to what I saw when I was exploring different parts of the forest outside of Krakow. But that's not actually what this number is. I was going to say, one thing that I think culturally that I saw that's done better in Poland than in the United States is family time, the importance of family time. And I don't know, I'm basing this strictly off of my observations when I was in Krakow, but I found, like, especially on Sundays, it was like, because all the shops were closed, if you went for a walk, it seemed like every other family was out doing the same thing. I'm in the water. I couldn't help it. We're in, just up to our legs. But in all seriousness, though, I felt like when I was walking around, there was a point where all I would see were families out for walks, or they'd be out for bike rides, and it would be everyone. They'd even bring the dog. And even when I was touring other parts of the country, I just felt like there was more of a family dynamic than there is here in the United States. That doesn't mean that we don't have families here, that we don't have where kids spend time with their parents and vice versa. I just felt like, though, it was an observation enough when I was walking around that I was just like, I've never seen this before. I remember during the winter holidays, and I was up in Sopot and in Gdansk, and it just seemed like when you went to the beach, even though it was beginning of January, families were there. And maybe that's by the design, too. I mean, because of how... I don't know. I was trying to think of a way to explain it. Maybe there's no need to like explain it. I just found, at least in my own perspective, I felt like Polish families just seemed closer than my American counterparts. So I'd say you do that better. I would say you do lakes better, but I have yet to go to, well, I've been to a reservoir, but I've never been to a Polish lake yet. That's on my list of things to do. But the fifth thing, and this one is part cultural, but it's also part historical. It's kind of a combination. And I don't think there's a discussion about this. Anyone from the States that is watching this would have to agree if they've been to these Polish Christmas markets. There is nothing in the United States that is better than what you do. And note, I didn't say German Christmas markets. I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying Polish Christmas markets. From what I saw in Krakow, in Gdansk, in Przemyśl, I can't pronounce it right. In German name is Przemysl, the one with the P. In Wrocław, did I say that one right? I think I did. Anyway, those Christmas markets, they're amazing. And just going out and participating and being part of that cultural exchange, there's nothing quite like it here in the United States that I can think of that I have experienced through the years. So I would say the Christmas markets in Poland, you defeat our Christmas markets here in the United States by default. But even if we had a Christmas market here, I don't think we would know how to put it on the way that the country of Poland does, with your food, with your crafts, with all that stuff. So this might have been a different list than my first 5. The first 5 were more like practical. This 5 is more purely from a cultural observation aspect. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that I'm right about, the history, the churches? Looks like a storm. The family life, the sports, and the Christmas markets? Or am I missing something? And what would you put on your list? All right, I got to get out of this. Till next time. Peace.
Wow. There's something about those videos that is just so soothing. I don't know if it's because because of the water sound I'm listening to, the environment. This is just really so soothing. So guys, do you agree with all of the things you have said? I agree with some because I have literally seen that. I have seen that. I have seen a couple of people say they are genuine opinion about this. So just share your thoughts in the comments. Do you totally agree with everything he has said? Do share your thoughts in the comments. If you're an American and you have been to Poland, what do you think? Do you agree with this? Please share your thoughts in the comments, okay? It will be well appreciated. All right, guys, please make sure you like, comment, share, and make sure you subscribe, okay? If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that right now. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye for now.